You're live, Tony. I'll be right back.
Who's that? Well, this is the first time everybody's seeing me. Well, except for the first video we did on the river, Mississippi. But I'm Tony. And this is from... Oh, no, he's gone. He'll be right back. Anyway. Yeah. We decided to do a little quick video here to kind of mess around with the Ouija board a little bit. See if we can just get anything. It's just some kind of a spur of the moment sort of thing. So we're just gonna wait for him to return and get going. So I thought he was coming back. So obviously we got some electronics here. We want to just, match it up with some actual equipment to see if we get any similar responses. Yeah. Well, this is awkward. How are you guys doing? But I mean, I guess till he comes back. I've been with this since we started. I just haven't had a chance to really talk to you guys at all. But you'll see more of me. Definitely hear more of me. I plan on being in the background for some things, and of course I'll be there for pretty much all investigations that we go on, which, if you guys have any ideas, please let us know. We will be going on some, hopefully pretty soon here. And yeah, you'll be hearing from us pretty much weekly. I'm not gonna lie. We started this a little early. And I have no idea how many people are here because he has the computer off. So I wonder if this is too... Oh, shush. It's a ghost. There we go. All right. Yep, he's coming back down. Then we'll finally get going. He's just taking his precious time. That's kind of what he does. He's just the worst. Oh, hey, you've come back.
Yes,
I was feeling.
I have returned.
I'm just getting, people familiar with me.
Hopefully not too familiar.
Oh, right. We're gonna get real weird with it.
That's spooky.
I like boogieing.
So right now I'm just checking to see how many people are on right now.
Have I just been talking to myself?
No.
Oh.
There are people are watching.
Oh, hey.
There we are. There's one person watching.
Is it me? Am I watching myself?
No.
Is it us? Are we watching us?
Yeah, we're watching us right now. This is like fourth wall breaking right here.
Oh, this is trippy. What are you doing?
I'm minding my business. What are you doing?
Minding your business too. Like,
Oh.
present.
Technology.
Yeah. Technology.
There we go.
Minding your business, too.
There's not a delay.
Yeah. No, not at all. All right.
Hi, everyone. It's Alfredo again. Tony already introduced himself. At least I hope he did.
Yeah, I did. I gave him a little bit of information.
So, what all have you filled him in on?
Well, just who I am, and that I started with you from the beginning, and that's about it, really. So not a whole lot. I guess I'd really give my background, though. I should have probably done that while he was upstairs, but I didn't. I have been interested in paranormal my entire life. But in the past, better part of a decade, as I've been in a paranormal group, and I've been to some incredible places, private homes that are just gorgeous, and some that are questionable.
What do you mean by questionable?
Oh, so I mean,
did they have doors on the house?
No, they didn't.
They didn't have doors.
So one place,
yeah, must be some type of psychic or something.
So one place it was just going under a remodel. It had caught fire previously, so they didn't have windows or walls or quite a few things. But you know, they just had some activity, and we tried to help them out with that. And I have been doing, like I said, doing that for a better part of a decade. And he asked me to help out, and here I am. And hopefully we can get to know each other a little bit more going forward.
So what's like the most craziest thing you've ever experienced while you've been on an investigation? Give us an example.
So, I talked to you about it before. I
don't think they know. So
I know. I'm just making conversation. I don't know what to do with my hands. No, I was visiting a buddy of mine in Kansas. He was in the military, and he put me up in a room. It's their guest room. It's a beautiful house, a nice house. It's a duplex, if I remember correctly. And so the first night I was there, it was a creepy vibe. Just did not feel comfortable. And that night I slept with the lights on, and I do not do that. Never. That's just how uncomfortable I've been. I've never had this feeling before. Ever before or since. So the next night I'm out in the living room where I'm watching TV. I'm actually watching a movie, The History of Violence. I remember the movie I was watching.
It's a good movie.
This is a really good movie. But I mean, this was
Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, a really good movie. And yeah, we I decided it's like 1:00 in the morning, something like that. I decided to go to bed, shut TV off, and I start going down the hallway. There's this long hallway with, a couple rooms and closets along the way, bathroom. And the very end is where the guest room is. There's a giant panel window that is, the moon is shining through. You can see everything. It's all lit up. This giant black mass passes from inside the room and to the left to the wall, through the wall.
Are you saying that the EMF candle just turned on?
Oh.
Go on.
All right. It blacked out everything. Like the whole room just went dark for a second. And it wasn't like I was like half asleep or anything like that. I was very much awake, looking straight at it. And I stopped. I'm like, oh. And I went and laid slept on the in the living room floor. I don't know why I didn't sleep in the couch at best, but I don't know, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Maybe I just wanted to keep my eye on the room. But he comes down to go to work, like a couple hours later, and he's like, "Why are you?" And he says, "Quote, what the are you doing on the floor?" I'm like, "Huh? Oh, ghost." Then I went back to sleep. And later on, sure enough, they told me that they never felt comfortable in that room, and that's why it's a guest room. Didn't bother to say anything beforehand, so I ended up sleeping in there the next night. But it's just it throws you off, first time you.
Do you think they made that a guest room not just because of what they believed to be was in there, but to get rid of the guests much quicker, so they wouldn't
maybe
overstay their welcome?
Yeah, I mean, a sacrifice, maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah, I really should talk to him now.
If
you're bringing up some points that I don't like.
There might be attorneys out there that could help you with a case like that. I don't see that being on a billboard or on some benches, but have you been, assaulted or accosted by spiritual entities? Let us know.
Yeah. That's good. A good, thing to try to go for. Maybe I should get in the law.
We come up with these good ghost ideas. Law. We got the only ghost we were talking about down at the river.
Yeah, only ghost.
That was something else. And then now we got a ghost law firm. I mean, and yeah, we're planning for the future. We're future proofing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, we got ideas.
Yep, job security. Even.
That's right. Just in case.
So that was awesome for you to share that with us. But today we've got in front of us a couple of items that we use on our investigations. We have, as you can see, an EMF candle. You've seen it gone off a couple of times and turned back on. That measures electromagnetic frequency. I don't want to say frequency. Electromagnetic fields, not frequency. It's a big misconception because it's an energy field. It's not frequent. So that's what that stands for. We've got the Flux 2. You've seen this in many of my videos on YouTube. It lights up green on one side, red on the other by distance. So we've got it at set to about 2.5, 4 foot from there to go off on either side. It measures temperature drops and increases by a variance of 5 degrees. That's really cool. They agree. It also measures the drops. I think I said drops and increases, but it's a 5-degree variance anyways. And right here we have in front of us is an Ovilus. Now, you see a lot of people on YouTube or on investigations. I've noticed a lot of them mostly just use the dictionary. That's a great tool. It's got over 25,000 words loaded into it, internal memory. It's great to use. But we also like to use the other modes in that. One, for example, is the motion sensor. So you can see, probably you can see from the screen here, it senses motion also. So if I tap on the table, if there's any type of movement, it'll indicate it.
The table's moving.
It'll indicate it on the Ovilus itself as a waveform there. So that's actually pretty cool. Yep. I'm just looking at the screen here because there's a bit of delay. Another item we have here is what's known as a Ouija board. Tell us a bit. Do you know much about the Ouija boards, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, I think like a lot of people, I've messed with them growing up, and I take it a little bit more seriously now. But at the same time, I still like to have devices to corroborate what we find on the Ouija board, because there's also other scientific notions about them that neither one of us will be intentionally moving anything. We don't believe in doing, messing with stuff just for views, that's just wrong, and I hate seeing videos of people doing that. But sometimes it's a subliminal thing. You don't know that you're moving it, and you very well could be. It's a theory. Just like the Ouija board is itself on the paranormal side. So I like to mess with it just to see if, there's some actual paranormal occurrences. Other than that, I mean...
So they are prone to human error. Because,
Yeah.
Like you were mentioning before, how it could be us subconsciously moving it. It could be an actual entity guiding you to move it. But it's one of those things, it's really hard to quantify the results of if it's paranormal or if it's psychological or if it's intentional. Which is why, as Tony mentioned, we have other devices and other means of tracking and testing our theories on the paranormal. Now, there is a proper etiquette to utilizing the Ouija board, and that is to say, when you have the Ouija board out, never have the planchette just resting on the Ouija board. That is a big no-no. That's like if you're going to a bad area or you live in a bad neighborhood, very active for criminal activity. I'm sure there's good folks in the neighborhood too, but you're leaving that door unlocked wide open for just anyone and anything to just step right through. That's why I have the planchette upside down, not on the board, off to the side. Also, you want to have your intentions set before you start performing a Ouija board session. Some people use meditation, others use candles, burn sage, say a prayer to only allow light and guidance from a positive entity or energy to pass through, to communicate through you, which is something that I tend to use quite a bit when I practice on my own. Also, being respectful is another thing.
Yeah.
Being respectful of the possibility of there are entities or spirits within the room, to speak to them with such respect. Yes, it's good to have boundaries, but never antagonize. You never ask them too personal of a questions of what's it like where they're at. It's a gray area. There's many beliefs that other investigators, spiritualists, and mediums have their own guidelines and moral standards that they follow. Myself, I just try to treat it as how would I like to be treated as a human being. No matter if I'm this side of the veil or on the other, how would I want to be treated? Which is how I approach it. What do you think? How do you feel about that? Anything else like that?
No, I absolutely agree. I think every time, especially when you start any kind of investigation, which I consider anything we're doing, if we turn on anything equipment-wise, we get the Ouija board out, I consider an investigation. However long it might be, it's an investigation. So, and you got to take it with the utmost respect, because if there is something there, it's originally could be their house, and we could be coming in and give them the finger, and it's like, well, why? Why are you doing that? So we don't want to do that, and as there, I've seen investigations where there's provoking involved. I'm not for provoking. The only other times I've ever necessarily done that is if it's been kind of an aggressive situation, and it's mostly to try to get it to communicate with us, because that's the only way it can, and really use that to help whoever we're trying to help. But yes, as far as the Ouija board, as skeptical as I am about it, I still want to approach it with the utmost respect.
Excellent. So, as we approach this board tonight, are there any questions or anyone in particular we should try to contact tonight that you can think of?
No.
Okay.
And off the top of my head, I mean, this is kind of your area. Do you something that pops in your head? This is kind of on the spot for us. We just decided to just do it all of a sudden. So
yeah, basically, the reason why is because we just got a verification badge, our blue check mark on our page, which I'm really excited about, and we just wanted to thank everyone that's joined us on this journey so far. From the beginning, we've tried to maintain an organic following for our channel and for our page at Spectre Investigations and Paranormal Society. By the way, we do have a YouTube channel, Spectre Investigates, as well as Instagram. We've got our links in our description and our bio as well here on Facebook Live. So you're more than welcome to check those out. We try to maintain activity on there and engagement on a daily basis. Trying to regularly upload content on a weekly basis. We do have a lot of places lined up to go to beginning this spring. One is in Salem, Illinois. We do have reports from someone who sent us some awesome video, who shall remain anonymous, of possible UAPs, and several videos, in fact, that they submitted to us. We're really looking forward to checking that out. We also check out UAPs, UFOs, alien, cryptids we're still learning more about. Yeah, how do you feel about that? What makes you...
About just all of that in general? I mean, I'm open to absolutely anything. Open to it. But I have to have something to corroborate any kind of...
Now, we haven't uploaded those videos yet that were submitted to us, but Tony has seen the footage, and I've seen the footage. What was your first thought after seeing it? I can't wait to upload the footage for you guys to see it. But
it was pretty interesting. Some responses that were, wow. Obviously, don't want to, give anything away before you see it. But that just...
I'll just say there were orbs.
Yeah.
There were orbs.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
So, and as far as for me, orbs is a very touchy thing for me.
What's that?
I mean, it's just, there's so many things it could be that isn't orbs. Dust, bugs, cobwebs. That's a big one that can really make you see something off in the distance, but it's right on the camera. Cobweb floating around. And,
Now, I don't think that was a cobweb we saw in one of the videos, that an orb that was so bright in the sky with a branch in the foreground for it to be moving behind it.
Yeah, it was bright.
You guys, I can't wait to upload those videos. You guys will have to let us know what you think after you see them. But yeah, that's just one instance, one plan that we got going on.
Yeah.
We've got places here in the Quad Cities we plan to visit as well, because we've got to represent. We've got to share a lot of our local history, our heritage, where we come from here in the Quad Cities. Something that we take pride in, where we come from.
Yeah, I mean, the Quad City area has a lot of, a ton of history to it. some great history, some pretty dark, especially in the really in the Rock Island area. They back in the day they called Rock Island Little Chicago. Oh, it went off.
That was me.
So we're talking about like 20s and 30s Chicago and Rock Island. So which we'll talk about in future videos and things. But
yeah, definitely, because this is my bucket list that I'd like to do. Now, we're not endorsed by the author or anyone involved with these writings or these works, but I highly recommend you picking these up if you get a chance. They even have at the library. I know the author got them on sale on the bookstore, on the app store as well. You can, and Amazon, be able to download them. But Eerie Quad Cities and Ghosts of the Quad Cities, they're two books that are written by this author and co-authors, Michael McCarty and Mark McLaughlin for Ghosts of the Quad Cities. There's several locations that we plan on visiting here that are still built, that are still around, that we can actually visit, that we want to visit. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of places we're going to visit and have posted on our channels. So you keep an eye out for that.
And not just for paranormal investigations, but just history in general. I think that's a lot of not a lot of people really appreciate the history that they're investigating. I mean, yes, you'll see videos of the beginning of the video talking about what happened at such and such, but I think it's just some places just need a little bit more love.
Exactly. Even some Masonic temples too. Myself personally, I'm a Freemason. I'm a 3rd degree Master Mason in the Blue Lodge. Also, 32nd degree Sublime Prince of the Royal Secret of the Scottish Rite Lodge here in the Valley of Moline. I notice a lot of investigators on YouTube, and I'm calling these out, not in a bad way, but in doing your research and fact checking some things. I'd like to visit some of these lodges that these investigators that went to, just to help clarify a few things about the false ideas of what Masonry is about. So I'm hoping to help clear a lot of that up. A lot of conspiracy theories out there that are very laughable, but that's down the road. But like I said, it's what we have questions about, something that we love doing, and we're actually excited to get started on this Ouija board. That being said, I'll just get started by inviting any positive spirit that is here with us, that would like to give us guidance, that would like to communicate with us, that has a message for us of love and light. You are more than welcome to join us at this time, at this board. So, started. I think the battery's about dead on this. We let that run for a while.
It's going off.
Yep, that's fine. All right. Let's head on the board. We'll go in a circle.
Is there anybody here with us? What is your name? It's an H.
H. HE. Yes, you said HE.
M. A.
I already know what he's gonna say.
M. HE.
He-Man.
All
I knew he was gonna say that.
right.
Now, is this an entity, or is this one of my followers that works with me in the paranormal?
Is this an entity? I'll just do a yes, no.
And you're not moving it.
I'm not moving it.
I'm barely touching it.
I am too. No.
What was the question?
Is this an entity? Are you... What was your other question?
Is this one of my followers, my guides? The light candle just went off.
Mm-hmm. My watch is on airplane mode, so...
Yes, and yes, and it was
Okay. Were you messing with us with the He-Man?
the lights flickering.
Mm-hmm.
If you were messing with us with the He-Man, could you reach this blue light here? It's all right. We mean you no harm. No, you don't want to touch the light? That's fine.
No.
That's all right. You don't have to touch the light. You know, how you feeling?
Hmm?
Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, my back just hurts.
Okay.
We're good.
What is it you'd like to tell us? What message do you have for us, He-Man? E?
Z.
Easy.
C.
Easy C.
M.
Easy CM.
N.
I'm gonna type this
Is this an anagram for something?
No. It's just code.
Is it code that's something Alfredo should know?
All right. We should probably end it. Thank you, He-Man, for communicating with us as the light just went off.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to say goodbye now. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Wow. Yeah. I love codes. And you swear
That was
you were
interesting.
moving that.
No.
I could have sworn all the weight was on your side, and I was like, my fingers were like barely touching it. Like they're barely making contact to them.
Oh yeah, no. As every now and then I put a little bit of pressure on it, then that's when it would just stop it as it's moving. But no, I was barely touching it.
No, I don't mean any disrespect. We are scientists. Yeah. I'm gonna grab my rook. That was me.
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
We got a rook. It's EMF detector. But what's weird is right now, nothing's happening on the rook 2 K2 meter. But I'm feeling a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
In my head and in my ears. My ears are like ringing right now.
So are mine, but they always do.
I feel like I'm like kind of underwater a bit. But I feel clear-headed. Like I felt like I knew what was happening there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew what the responses were going to be before they happened. But that was me, I think.
Oh yeah.
But it seemed like we were getting credible responses. But as we mentioned before we started this session, that these are prone to human error.
Oh yeah.
But I just know my personal, honest, scientific explanation of what occurred here. I was barely touching the planchette. And it felt like most of the weight was coming from his hands on there. But that's what it felt like. It doesn't mean that he was putting weight on it, but that's what I was feeling at the time. And I don't know if you noticed, most of the time I had my eyes closed as it was moving. With my sensitivities, I felt the answers just coming to me before it went on. Now we have another device that, in theory, should be able to help eliminate the human error. How strange.
Mm-hmm.
It just ticked. And the candle went off again. Where it's called an envoy. And it has the alphabet on there, but it scans each letter. Similar to what the Fox sisters came up with during the very first spiritualist movement in the mid-1800s. The Fox sisters began trying to communicate with spirits in their homes by using a tap method. And what they would do is they'd go through the letters of the alphabet. They'd say A, B, C, and then if they heard a tap, then they would stop at C, write it down, and then they start over on the alphabet again, similar to the Ouija board. And that's what, in fact, what the Envoy does. One of the modes that's on the Envoy, which I really like. That's good for checks and balances. So the answers would have to be deliberate and intentional when it comes up with the words and the phrases on there.
Because if that matches up, then it's hard to debunk that. And as for these, like you said, it could very well have been human error. One of us could have been moving it. Could have very well been me. But there was zero intention if it was. But I like testing out the Ouija board. I'm always down to do it more often. Mostly because I really want to find out what was really happening.
Right. Get a story, a baseline of what's going on, because you go investigate one spot once, you're not going to get the whole story in one time, especially if you're just a limited amount of time.
Right.
It's going to take multiple visits, multiple questions, utilizing the scientific method, putting that through the test, and continuous questions after questions until what's left is the truth, the answers. And that's what we were set out to do at Spectre Investigations and Paranormal Society. Wow, this was a great session, Tony. I had a blast.
Yeah, same. I'm always down to do this again. Like I said, you will be seeing more of me now that, so should be on a weekly basis. Anytime we do anything like this, the Ouija board, tell us what you think. If there's, if you see anything, of course, just like anything else, tell us what you feel is happening with the Ouija. Do you think it is one of us that subconsciously moved it? We want to know. And as we go on and do more investigations, like you said, hopefully next month, right? When we go next month, if we find anything, and we post it, and whether it be we're doing it live or we post the videos, and you think it could be something else, something normal, correct us, tell us. We will go back, we will make a video trying to debunk it again, if we can prove your theory correct or not. So
yeah, put my finger at you, Beardo. If you hear me, if you're watching this, your critiques are more than welcome. And it only helps strengthen the paranormal community. So the more harsh, more critical critiques that we get, the better. It makes us better investigators. So we welcome all debunkers to come in and point out and ask the question. We welcome that, most definitely.
Just respectfully.
Yep. Well, Beardo doesn't pull punches.
Oh, well, there's not pulling punches, and then there's people who, just troll comments.
No, he knows what he's talking about,
and that's fine. I'm all for that.
And so he knows what he's talking about. I'm actually looking. I'd be honored to be roasted by Beardo, to be honest with you. So, and if you love codes, cryptography, breaking like crypto quotes, whatever. If you've got any ideas of what that code means, that came up, boom, there it is. I just sent it out. Feel like you crack it. It could be something. It could be nothing. We don't know. So join us on this journey. into the unknown with Spectre Investigations. This is Spectre Investigates. I'm Alfredo, and this is Tony. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you all. Bless up. Ow!